Champions will be looking to advance after already beating Tyrone in round one of the competition. Conditions absolutely beautiful here today. It is warm. It's a day where water breaks will be needed, and indeed players will be looking to conserve energy on this particular occasion. In shot at the moment there is our match referee for today's game. He is Jonathan Murphy from Carlow. He took charge of the 2020 All-Ireland final between Dublin and Cork, and indeed refereed the junior final between Longford and Antrim in 2016, and was the man in the middle for the 2019 intermediate final as well between Tipperary and Meath. So he's certainly got plenty of experience coming into this particular game, Jonathan Murphy. Let's give you a look at the two teams and how they are lining out for this particular game. Well, the Dublin manager Mick Bohan made 5 changes in personnel to the team that accounted for Tyrone in round one. With the games coming up so fast and furious after a somewhat shortened build-up for the league campaign this year, it's not surprising perhaps that he's made changes. Niamh Collins, Orla Nolan, Siobhan McGrath, Lindsay Davey and Carla Rowe are all drafted into the starting lineup, with Laura McGlinchey, Hannah Leahy, Lucy Collins, Niamh Heatherson and Siobhan Killeen all dropping out. Now there is a slight worry about Carla Rowe. She had to go through a late fitness test ahead of this particular game. If she doesn't start, it's expected that Siobhan Killeen from Clontarf will come in to take her place in the starting 15. Well, Waterford haven't played a competitive match since concluding their National Football League campaign against Cork. That was back on June the 6th. There are 2 changes to the side that started on that particular occasion. Roisin Tobin and Breathe McMaugh are named in the starting lineup. Caoimhe McGrath and Kate McGrath drop out of the Waterford team for this game. Keep an eye out there on the Waterford team. It's a side that's got plenty of experience. Rosie Landers is back in goals again, and indeed there's plenty of family connections right through the team as well, and we'll be explaining some of those various connections to you as the game progresses here this afternoon in Baltinglass GAA grounds. Well, no doubt about it, the conditions will be a big factor here this afternoon. Dublin may have the advantage after having already played a game. The toss is taking place where there's little or no real breeze to report of here at the match venue. Indeed, very, very warm indeed. And I think the 2 sets of team players out there on the respective teams could very much maybe do with a breeze coming in at some stage or other this afternoon. The Waterford captain, as you've seen there, Mairead Wall, in camera shot for that particular toss. It seems as if the players are going to continue playing as they are with their warm-ups at the minute. Big day as well for the match officials here for this particular encounter. As mentioned at the very introduction of the programme, it's a day where Dublin can really secure their passage through to the quarterfinals of the All-Ireland Championship, and it would result, of course, with a straight shootout then between Waterford and Tyrone to see who else will be joining them in the latter stages of the competition. Our match referee, coming from the St Mullins Club in Carlow, began refereeing back in 2008 at local level, completed the LGFA's Accelerate programme back in 2013, and indeed only came on to the national panel in 2014. Among his assignments last year were Cavan and Kerry, Armagh and Mayo in senior championship fixtures as well. And indeed, if you check out the LGFA website at the minute, you will see more details if you are interested in becoming a referee, how you can join up. As always, refereeing so important in competitions like these, and always good to see young referees making the move up to inter-county level. Well, it's an interesting build-up for the 2 teams for this game. Dublin very much coming into it with Mick Bohan looking, as he was quoted as saying during the week, for a big improvement from that opening round victory against Tyrone. That game ended in a 218 to 111 victory for Dublin on that particular occasion. You can just see how hot it is going to be here today. Water is going to be absolutely vital. And as you can see, the Waterford management team there certainly leaving nothing to chance, making sure that there's going to be plenty of liquid on board for the players. But on a serious note, dehydration really is something that I know both camps are very much keen to keep an eye on for today. Spoke to some of the Dublin backroom team in the lead up to the throw-in time here, and that was one of the key things they identified when they arrived here in Baltinglass this afternoon. So the players just completing their warm-up. A big occasion this for a Waterford team who are quietly fancying their chances here. They've got history with Dublin in the competition in the not too distant past. Every vantage point taken here today as well, including the hills there behind the respective goals. Down to our left, our commentary position incidentally here at the back of the main stand in Bolton Glass today. Absolutely wonderful facilities here for this particular encounter, but still, even with the conditions at boiling point, the two teams making sure that they have warmed up extensively for this match. Referee has moved into the middle of the field. That's the Dublin team. As we mentioned, the main concern for them at the start of the match surrounded Carla Rowe. Late fitness test for her, and if she was unable to start, it was widely expected that Siobhan Killeen from Clontarf would be the player to come in. But as you can see there, number 12, Carla Rowe, warming up and seems to have come through the fitness test. An absolutely key figure for the Dubs, and indeed looks as if she will be taking her starting position for this particular encounter. So the match referee getting ready at this stage to throw in the ball for this round 2. Game between Waterford and Dublin. And Dublin midfield pairing will be hoping to win plenty of possession round the middle of the park. Jennifer Dunn and Lauren McGee, the Coola and Kilbacud Crokes players, awaiting the arrival of their Waterford counterparts at the moment, who are just going through a final huddle, which will result in the throw-in getting underway a minute or two late. The officials here anxious to make sure that we start as close to time as possible. As always, you're very welcome along to our streaming coverage wherever you are watching this game, let it be in Dublin, Waterford, or indeed anywhere across the country, or indeed across the world for that matter. The popularity of ladies Gaelic football and the TG4 Championship continuing to grow all the time. Waterford just settling into a dugout over to our left, and Dublin's dugout just located to our right here. And as you can see already, some of the various positional switches being made in the Waterford team. It looks as if they're going to be bringing their wing back, going back to corner back there. That's the change. We'll tell you more about. Ashley Mullaney definitely seems to be gone in a more defensive role, but it's early possession here for Dublin as they attack from right to left here in the opening half. Lindsay Davey, quick delivery down there, but it's well anticipated by Megan Dunford, the cornerback from the Waterford team. Emer Murray was one of their midfielders with a good intelligent use of the ball down to the Waterford forward line, getting some early possession, and Katie Murray now has the chance to advance here, offloads it outside her. It's a chance here for Emer Fennell, and she gets her shot in, and that's the opening score of the game. Well, the first real attack of the match, yielding a point there for the Waterford ladies. Good sweeping move down the field, and Fennell was there to take her point. Dublin have gone relatively short with the kick-out. Martha Byrne from Coola was the recipient there from Ciara Trent's kick-out, the St. Bridget's goalkeeper, linking up with her well there. Deciding now to spray it right across this near side of the field, and Dublin can launch their first main attack of the game. Ball played just shy of the 45-metre line. Lindsay Davey was the player who initially won it. Quick offload. Coming forward here was Jenny Dunn. It breaks back out to Niamh McAvoy. Quick delivery inside. Lauren McGee and Jennifer Dunn had continued up there, and eventually the shot comes in, and that's just gone out to the left of the post and wide. Well, it was a sweeping move. It was Carla Rowe eventually who had the shot, but it just tailed out to the left of the goalkeeper's post and wide. And the first wide goes to Dublin, while the first point goes to the challengers here, Waterford, who are leading by 1 point to no score after 90 seconds. But Waterford have worked well of their kickouts ahead of this game. Breed McMahon, one of the players who has come in since their last league outing, which was a defeat against Cork. That's Ashley Mullaney from Stradbally. Again playing the ball outside her once more there, and they're moving the ball here with real pace early on in the game. Becky Casey once more trying to thread through here at Waterford, and they're managing to play the ball outside. Fennell has got their opening score of the game. That ball kicked in there, but kicked in under pressure, and indeed it's been kicked out to the left of the post and wide. So there's a possibility once again there for them, but they just were unable to take it on that particular occasion. And it just drifted out to the left of the goalkeeper's post and wide. Again, the kick out taken. Plenty of enterprising play from Waterford here early on in the game. Emma Murray. That's Chloe Fennell. Or Fennell. And again it's played out to Karen McGrath. Now coming forward here is Mairead Wall. Out to the full forward, Kate Murray. Again trying to make sure that there's plenty of players coming off the shoulder there all the time. Karen McGrath involved with the move on a couple of occasions. All about making sure here that they can get the ball played back out here to Emma Murray. Emma Murray getting the opportunity here to run at the Dublin rear guard. It's good build-up, patient play. Breed McMahon involved as well. That brought back to her somewhat fortunately. But it's all about getting the right player at the end of the move, who was Maria Delahunty on this occasion. And she just can't get the shot in or over the bar for a second wide for the Daisha County. Well, the exchanges have been fairly evenly matched here so far. Little or nothing really to separate the teams in recent championship meetings, and certainly it's a game that I know Waterford are well and truly up for today and will be hoping to do well. Dublin, despite getting that victory against Tyrone last weekend, 218 to 111. Jennifer Dunn and Siobhan Killeen both scored goals in that particular match in the first half, which helped to settle the All-Ireland champions down a little bit after Tyrone made a very encouraging start to proceedings. And it's Dublin now attacking, still finding themselves in the position of trailing by a point to no score. Once more, they've immediately walked the ball into the inside forward line. Lindsay Davey, good quick delivery, linking up with Niamh McAvoy. Great understanding there in the Dublin forward line. McAvoy has it over on the far side, trying to cut into a more central role. Lindsay Davey once more. Running off the shoulder is Lauren McGee. Now they've got possibilities with Turl right through. And Hannah Turl is content to take the point and open up Dublin's account in this game. Well, it took all of 4 minutes and 20 seconds to arrive, but Hannah Turl from the Nafiana club, the recipient of the pass inside, made sure that she took her score, and that should help settle down the All-Ireland champions in this encounter. A point apiece, but Waterford so far very much giving as good as they're getting. Again, the restart well engineered there from a Waterford perspective. Karen McGrath was the player from Ballymacarbry who had come out to win that one. The fisted pass through the middle releases Roisin Tobin to attack again on the wing now, as Breed McMahon has seen plenty of possession early on. Dangerous diagonal ball right across the face of the goal. Goalkeeper under a little bit of pressure there. Emer Fennell trying to keep it alive. Going back there to try and keep her company was Leah Caffery, the Dublin wing back. And the referee just taking note of the incident, and it's going to be a free out here for the defending All-Ireland champions and of course league champions as well. Dublin side very much, without a shadow of a doubt, the top team in the country at the minute. And again they've played that one out short here to Martha Byrne from Coola. Byrne on her own 45-metre line. Love the way they always seem to be able to pick out players. Niamh McAvoy quickly releasing it again to Carla Rowe. No real signs of any injury for her. Look how she's played the ball into Sinead Ahern. Oh, that's brilliant. The direct play inside, and there was Sinead Ahern at the end of the move to finish it to the back of the net. A goal for her, made very much by Carla Rowe with that intelligent, enterprising ball in that split the defence in two. And Sinead Ahern from St Sylvester's there to take full advantage and slot it into the net. And Dublin lead by 1-1 to a single point. Well, the test now for Waterford, who had really played well inside the opening 6 minutes of the game, but you just get a feel now that the Dublin machine is well and truly up and running. Orla Nolan was on the attack there for Dublin, but Waterford have broke that one up. Comes back out here now on this near side towards Chloe Fennell. And now they've played it down here to the corner forward. Aileen Wall has gone deep to gather that one, 45 metres out from the Dublin goal. Gets the fisted pass inside, looking once more for Katie Murray. Immediately blocked up there. She was trying to get that one, but Waterford have done well to engineer a scoring chance. That Emer Fennell has taken her second score of the game, and indeed Waterford's second. Well, it was important for them that they hit back. Any coach will tell you in ladies Gaelic football or men's Gaelic football, hurling, camogie, whatever, it's all about getting that score after you concede a goal, and it's a crucial one for Waterford. 2 points now for Waterford on the board, 1-1 for Dublin, and just 2 between the teams. Waterford will be happy with the way they responded once more to the concession of that goal, but you just can get glimpses that this particular Dublin team now are beginning to settle into their task there. Jennifer Dunn has won some possession early on for them. Lindsay Davey, again, good strong running here. This direct straight line running from the Dublin team once more, but Davey has overcarried it in that particular instance of play, and that's going to be a free out for Waterford. Looking to take it quickly for them there is Laura Mulcahy. Their full back goes back to Rosie Landers in the goal. Landers will be the player who eventually will kick this. Referee at the sun blinding him just like everybody else here in Bolton Glass today. Just going in to check out the exact position from where the free can be taken from, and at the end of all of that, Waterford eventually restarted and get play going. Karen McGrath. Again, they decide to attack down this near side of the field that has yielded some success, particularly with Breed McMaw, who's got on a lot of possession early on. Begins to make things happen here for Waterford, and they've walked the ball into Rebecca Casey. Now it's with the corner forward, Aileen Wall, pacey player, onto the 21-14 metre line. That diagonal ball so hard to defend against, links up inside with Emer Fennell. Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant. 1-2 for her, 1-2 for Waterford, and it's the Dacia County who lead by a point. While we were asking the question, how would they respond from the concession of the goal, they're getting a lot of success attacking along their right flank, right in front of the main stand here, and the build-up play, the diagonal ball that was so difficult to defend against, and it's caused problems there for the All-Ireland champions, who have to respond and come again, and will come again. Jennifer Dunn bringing that attack in for them. Ball breaks away. Just how Dublin may be a little bit rocked by the concession of that goal, and now there's a free going Waterford's way as well. One or two of the last instances of play very much beginning to favour Waterford now. Chloe Fennell once again about to take the free for them. Links it back out here to Karen McGrath. Real confidence booster for Waterford after having scored that goal, but they've lost possession now. Possibilities for Dublin to come forward again with Lindsay Davey. Davey making the overlapping run, was looking for the return, but the final pass has deserted the All-Ireland champions here on one or two occasions so far. Aisling Mullaney was there to try and tidy up that one. Gets it back here to Chloe Fennell once again. Waterford again quite happy to build with confidence and patience as Laura Mulcahy brings the ball forward. Plays it now here to Aisling Mullaney. Dublin quite content to let Waterford have the ball inside their own 45-metre line. Seemed to be a late tackle going in there on Aisling Mullaney after she played that one away. Seems to have picked up a little bit of a knock. I'm sure it's something that the Waterford medical team will be keeping an eye on. Rebecca Casey over on the far side, and now Karen McGrath again. All the time Waterford inside their own 45-metre line. Chloe Fennell now in the middle of the field, bringing the ball forward. Fouled as she was attempting to get through there. Well, it's been quite an interesting opening 10.5 minutes to this particular match. Waterford really making their presence felt in this particular encounter thus far, and here they come once again with Chloe Fennell. Just has time to survey what options are available. Mairead Wall is always offering plenty of support up at the attack, and again Emer Fennell was the player there that they were looking to try and play it in over the top two, but it's just drifted out to the right of the post and wide. Today's teams played in Division 1B of the National Football League. Dublin topped it with 3 wins against Cork, Waterford and Tipperary. Waterford finished on third, Cork was second, Tipperary finished bottom of the group in the recent National League campaign. Indeed, Dublin beat Waterford in the league by 6-15 to 2-11 on May the 23rd. That was the most recent meeting between the two teams. Here come Dublin now on the attack. Alwyn Carey trying to bring that one forward. It comes eventually out here to Carla Rowe. Carla Rowe attempting to make some progress inside. She was being tackled high on the shoulder, and the referee deems that to be an infringement, and it's going to be a free in and an opportunity for Dublin to get a score. And Sinead Ahern is the player who is going across to take it, the Dublin goal scorer from earlier in the game. But Waterford have replied and responded very well indeed since the concession of that goal. So was ever any doubts that it could be a confidence rocker for them? Certainly hasn't been the case. Sinead Ahern won't be altogether pleased with that particular effort. Still, they've managed to keep it in play, and they've managed to recycle it back out here once more, and possibilities maybe for O'Connor now trying to cut in field here. Dublin with players over, and eventually the shot drops in, but eventually it drops short on that particular attacking occasion for them there. One or two just scoreable opportunities that you'd normally expect Dublin to convert and punish haven't really been taken yet, and that could be, a lot of that could be down to the intensity that Waterford have brought to this game when it comes into defending. That's Siobhan McGrath with the sleeves rolled up. You could say that would represent Waterford's effort right across the team. Sinead Ahern was once more the player who missed that one for Dublin, but it's Waterford at Aileen Wall. Down again here to the inside forward division it goes. Roisin Tobin going in there to try and win it back, but the referee has spotted an infringement inside, and it's going to be a free out for the Dublin team. And they decide to go back to the goalkeeper, Ciara Trant from St. Bridget's. Orla Nolan, Ballantyre St. John's now in possession. And place the ball through quickly, but Waterford are working really, really hard for every ball there, and they've overturned it on a number of occasions. Aisling Mullaney again in possession here. Some of the chief playmakers, Aileen Wall, linking up together for Waterford. Aileen Wall again running at Dublin. You just wonder in this heat if they'll be able to sustain those levels. It's a day really where the substitutes bench will come into play. Mairead Wall playing it outside her. Here's McGrath. Karen McGrath going all the way forward. Was looking maybe for a free to come there, not coming. Instead it's Maria Delahunty. Plenty of play here in possession for Waterford at the moment. Aisling Mullaney again. Emma Murray once more. Still trying to get through. Emma Murray there. Her way blocked. Has to pass it to Maria Delahunty. Maybe a fist pass might have been more advantageous to them there, but Katie Murray has it. Karen McGrath plays that ball in there towards Aileen Wall, the corner forward, but the Dublin defence had read the possible danger signs, and Lauren McGee is there to set another attack in motion towards Carla Rowe. But again, that's trademark Waterford defending. They have really stuck really tight to the chief Dublin threats in relation to scores and have been able to nullify them here, at least in the opening quarter of this game. First water break will be a welcome arrival for the two teams there. Again, the referee blowing the whistle, and again it's going to be another free. Well, the intensity here, as you probably would expect at senior level, has been second to none. Mick Bohan quoted as saying during the week that some real tough selections for him. One or two difficult discussions with the players. I think the phrase that he used was that there was eyes going through him from the back of the bus on the route for the opening game. It just shows the level of competition that's in this Dublin team, but really it's all about having a serious panel, particularly with the games coming in at a very fast and furious nature, not alone in the league but now in the championship. Two championship outings here for the defending All-Ireland champions in the space of a week certainly will give him the opportunity to cast his eye over a lot of the players. Tyrone, incidentally, the third team here, who were beaten by Dublin. And it's Dublin who come forward with Lauren McGee. Very strong, direct running player from midfield. McGee offloads that one outside up to Orla Nolan, and Orla Nolan has found the range and found the score. Well, she's been pushing up on a frequent basis, adding an extra dimension to the attack throughout the course of the game, and it's 1-2 to 1-2 now, the scoreline at the moment. Teams level here at the water break. And indeed, Waterford and Dublin, nothing to separate them here in the early exchanges of this particular match. And a very competitive game. Conditions absolutely sweltering out there with these two teams really giving it their own. Some concern about Dublin after the All-Ireland champions lined out without the All-Stars last week of Sinead Goldrick, Carla Rowe, Lindsay Davey and Nicola Owen for that particular match with the Red Hand County. But really, some of the players that came in did well. But with the challenge against Waterford today, Mick Bohan very much maybe going back to a somewhat more of a familiar looking Dublin side. Baltinglass GAA grounds appointed very well indeed for this particular match. Always a popular venue here for LGFA matches and over a number of years now. Indeed, great even to see in the stand here some real pieces of nostalgia when it comes to the club's success, not alone in Wicklow but also in Leinster and indeed at All-Ireland level. Famous All-Ireland final for Baltinglass against Clonagale. Roscommon will spring to mind from the not too distant past. And of course, a famous day for Baltinglass in that particular final. Clonagale managed to, backed in by the late Donny Shine, a team that contested a number of All-Ireland club finals in the men's grade, but were unfortunately, from their perspective, unsuccessful in them. Bolton Glass just one of the teams that managed to edge them out of All-Ireland glory. So the teams break away from the water breaks. Some of the developments from earlier in the league campaign when players maybe took a little bit more time than they should. And one particular game involving the Roscommon ladies where they conceded a goal, not even being back in the field, I think has very much sharpened the approach for all the other sides now as we move into the championship. All avenues will be well and truly monitored and prepared and thought about in advance now by the management teams. Little to separate these two teams here in the opening quarter. Deadlocked on the scoreboard at 1-2 apiece. Dublin's goal coming from Sinead Hearn a little bit earlier in the match, but Waterford very much with Emer Fennell hugely influential. 1-2 for her thus far in the game, certainly proven to be one of the key forwards. So the restart is a kick out from the Waterford goalkeeper, decides to go long, and rightly so, and Waterford again moving the ball down towards Roisin Tobin. Again, they've decided to attack, and this side is where a lot of their successes come from. Fennell really getting the ball out wide, then runs into a more central role, links up inside with her centre half forward Maria Delahunty, who unfortunately from a Waterford perspective shoots wide. Make it 4 wides for the Daisha County thus far in the game. Quick restart from Ciara Trant there, the Dublin goalkeeper. Interesting to see the understanding she's got there with Lauren McGee. That's a couple of times she's found the Kilbacud Crokes player over on the far side. Jennifer Dunn now in possession. Dublin team that will be familiar with having played with each other through a number of leagues and championships, successful league and championship campaigns. Orla Nolan, a point to her credit so far in the game. Indeed, always an attacking option as well for Dublin if they need to utilise her in that particular fashion. Siobhan McGrath looking to go down there on the ball. Referee's whistle again had sounded, and again it seems it's going to be maybe a hot ball perhaps on this particular occasion. Both players involved in that move. Leah Caffery there from Lifiana as well. Thankfully back up on their feet, and that's exactly what the referee is going to do. Throw in the ball already waiting there for this Jennifer Dunn from Coola, being joined in there now by Karen McGrath. Comes the way of the Dublin player. Immediate instinct is to put down the head and run and make that penetrating run, and look at her pace that has taken her clear from the Waterford cover. Jennifer Dunn, serious run, serious goal. Jennifer Dunn, talk about an individual score. Well, that's an individual goal personified. She won the ball from the throw-in. An acceleration of pace took her clear of the Waterford defence. She found herself bearing in on goal, and there was never any opportunity of her panicking in a situation like that. Brilliant finish right into the corner of the net, and Dublin now have stolen the momentum, and here they come again on the attack. O'Connor moving in from the near side, links up in there with McAvoy. The full forward has the shot, and Niamh McAvoy taps it in and taps it over the bar. Well, 1-1 in quick succession there from Dublin has certainly put some daylight between them and Waterford. Now it's Dublin 2 goals and 3 points, Waterford 1 goal and 2. And it's going back to the, I suppose, speculation and the comment about the water break, how some teams can gain momentum immediately after it and some teams can lose momentum immediately after a water break. And we've seen a prime example of that here today. Dublin winning that restart and very much punishing Waterford to the maximum. Well, in possession there was the Waterford number 9 who was racing forward with that with Emma Murray, but an infringement from off the ball, a foul spotted. Chloe Fennell was the player who had been blocked, and she was attempting to make a run forward for the pass, and it's going to be a free for Waterford. Not really stating the obvious now. The next score is going to be important for them after conceding 1-1 at the start of the second quarter of the game. Maria Delahunty is going to kick this one from the carpet, just inside the 45-metre line, central roll. Be hard pushed to find any evidence of any type of a breeze apart from an occasional little blast here and there, with no real sustained wind in this game. Delahunty strikes that one in well. Oh, that's a brilliant execution of a kick, and in and over the bar. Well, an excellent score. She was all of 44 metres out there and she kicked that one from the ground. Brilliant striker of the ball, and Waterford have got a crucial score. Dublin 2 goals and 3, Waterford 1 goal and 3 at the moment now, a point for the Waterford team, bringing the deficit back to a goal. Dublin on the attack again. They're full forward, looking lively. Niamh McAvoy. Again, O'Connor involved in the move. Again, the whistle sounds from the referee. And again, it's going to be a free in. Well, Dublin moving the ball with a little bit more pace into the inside forward line. And it seems with Caoimhe O'Connor, Niamh McAvoy and Sinead Ahern inside there, they're beginning to enjoy some success as a result of that particular tactic. Sinead Ahern now preparing to take this free. And probably here in the background, the efforts of Carla Rowe being applauded by the Dublin management team as Sinead Ahern taps one in and over to increase the advantage here for the All-Ireland champions. There's an injury to one of the Waterford players as well. Just going down there. 20 minutes played here in the opening half, and it's Dublin who lead by 2 goals and 4 points to Waterford's 1 goal and 3. And a day where, again, the 2 sets of players will welcome this break for an opportunity to get liquid refreshments on board. The temperature is absolutely soaring here in Baltinglass today. Our commentary position, as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, is at the back of the main stand here, but really out in the field, absolutely no cover, no breeze of any description to report of, and it certainly is a day that's going to, well, test the fitness levels of the players and perhaps test the reserve of the 2 substitute benches as well. It's a match where subs will be expected to make an immediate impact. Dublin with a cushion now at this stage built up. 9 minutes left here in the opening half, and Waterford again have won their own kick-out. It's been excellent distribution of the restarts from both goalkeepers in this game. I think it's been a fairly dominant factor so far. Megan Dunford brings this one forward from Abbey's side. That's back again with Mairead Wall. Wall again, once more you can hear the instructions being shouted in to use this particular side of the field. Just where a lot of the successes come from Emma Murray and co in the opening quarter in particular, where they attacked right a number of occasions on the right flank. Aisling Mullany again brings the ball forward. That pass was somewhat overcooked. It's a real dogfight now to try and win it back there close to the sideline. Linesperson right up at the play and signals it's going to be a sideline ball to the Daisha County. In fact, it's going to go the other way. It's a ball, Dublin ball. So opportunity for Dublin once again to lift the siege. Orla Nolan again striking that one, finding her intended target of Carla Rowe. No real signs of the injury which forced her to go through a fitness test before the game, but she's been well closed down by Waterford. Indeed, stepped out over the sideline there. Waterford affording her absolutely no time on the ball. The intensity level that Waterford have brought to this game today, you can really see that it's a match that they are well and truly up for the challenge for. They prepared quietly. Watched the game last week between Tyrone and Dublin and had an opportunity to set their stall out accordingly when it came to today's match. And still very much in it. Very little between the teams here in the opening half. The second goal just giving a little bit of a cushion to Dublin as Rebecca Casey now has an opportunity to come forward here. Support outside her from Roisin Tobin. Now it's the number 5 Mairead Wall. Centre half back is Karen McGrath wearing number 6. McGrath again getting the licence to go forward. Waterford here will be happy with this particular move, and it's won a free. The player fouled was Aileen Wall at the end of the move, and the referee awarding a free in, and an opportunity coming up here for Waterford to reduce the deficit a little bit more. 4 between them. Let's go bring it back to a 3-point ball game. Maria Dalahulty, we've already witnessed her showing supreme accuracy from a free in a very central position that was all of 44 metres out. This one just on the edge of the tee, as you can see from there. And it should be one maybe that she'd expect to tap over the bar and reduce the deficit here. Game nicely in the balance. Round 2 of the All-Ireland Championship. And Dalahulty once again finds the range, finds the target, and is proving to be extremely accurate with some of these opportunities that are coming her way. Dublin looking to secure their place in the quarterfinals today with a win. Of course, in the league, Cork were in the same group, and Tipperary as well. Just on the league results for the particular teams, Waterford were defeated by Cork 2-11 to 2-8. Won against Tipperary on a scoreline of 5-13 to 2-12. in a very high scoring encounter. Dublin, as we mentioned, beaten Waterford in the league, won against Tipperary 2-17-4 and beat Cork 4-11, 3-15-4-11, and of course those teams meeting again in the final of the Little Sponsored National League for 2021. Mayo, of course, with the semi-final opponents for Dublin. They won that 4-15 to 10 points, and that victory against Cork, confirmation of the scoreline 2-15 to 113 in Croke Park today, where there was spectators allowed back in. And indeed great to see spectators here in Baltinglass today, always adding to the occasion. 3 separating the teams here, 2-4 to 1-4. 5 minutes plus remaining in the opening half. Here's Rebecca Casey in possession. And not surprisingly, Waterford look to explore opportunities on this right side of the field again as they come forward. Dublin seems to have shifted a few more players over here to a defensive role. Emma Murray forced to go back. Waterford happy to retain as much possession as they possibly can at this stage, and now they elect to go the other side, and bringing it forward here is Karen McGrath. Up to the opposition 45-metre line. Again, the quick delivery down there on this occasion. Emer Fennell seems to have switched across there to the other side. And now it comes here to Chloe Fennell. They're again playing the ball well round here. Emma Murray. Good, patient, confident build-up play again. Murray continued that run on unchecked. Scoreable opportunities you'd feel coming up maybe for Chloe Fennell. Again, they're going to try and walk the ball to the player in the right position, and it's going to be kicked in for them by Maria Delahunty, but just goes out to the right of the post and wide on this particular occasion. Dublin goalkeeper having to do a little bit of juggling there to get the ball down at the top of the fence, but Ciara Trent eventually got it away without really Waterford spotting that quick restart, and Dublin now have opportunities to attack. Orla Nolan attacking on the Dublin lift this time. 1 point to her tally so far. Really, she's walked that ball well here to Carla Rowe, and Rowe swears it back outside to Sinead Ahern, and Sinead Ahern has kicked it wide. And it was a sweeping Dublin attack, a contrast really from the patient attacking play that Waterford have displayed in their last few attacks. So it's much more efficiency and fluency maybe in that Dublin one. Took a lot less passes to get it into the shooter at the end of the move, but Waterford's defence well set up and making it difficult. Just 3 between the teams here. Rosie Landers going long with the kick out this time. Battle again for possession. Maria Delahunty coming more and more into this game. Those 2 frees that she has converted in the second quarter, obviously boosting her confidence as the match wears on as well. Rebecca Casey comes all the way across to Karen McGrath. No real sign of the level of intensity to drop in the game as Emma Murray releases the pass outside it to Roisin Tobin. Roisin Tobin being fouled, and it's going to be another opportunity here now for Waterford to try and execute something that's probably outside of the compass of Maria Delahunty. So Roisin Tobin, I presume, went back, but only contrived to give the ball away. And Dublin, with Carla Rowe now, have benefited from that particular move that just broke up at the wrong particular time for Waterford. Here's Caoimhe O'Connor again, fouled on her way through, and now there's going to be a scoring opportunity here for Lindsay Davey, and that'll be a frustrating one for Waterford because they really were the orchestrators of their own downfall. They are giving the ball away from the short free that went back into their own half of the field. Dublin intercepted, and now they've got the possibility of a score. Is it going to be Hannah Turl who is going to take it? It is. 1 point to her credit so far in the game. The linesperson just making sure that the free is kicked from the correct position. Again, the angle was going to be acute, so she's gone short. Sinead Ahern has found a little bit of space there. It comes out to Lindsay Davey. Lindsay Davey with players running off the shoulders. The midfielder who was coming in there for it, Lauren McGee, and kicks that ball in and between the posts and over the bar. Well, Dublin certainly surveyed the situation well, decided against having a shot from the acute angle, walked it back into a more central role, and in the end took their point. And as a result of that, have increased their lead now to 2 goals and 5 points to 1 goal and 4. Dublin with 2-5, good score for them here in the opening half thus far. 29 minutes approaching. That's the Waterford number 7 there, who is currently receiving the treatment. Aisling Manani just seems to be okay, and it just seems to be maybe asthma, maybe a spray like that, and that's exactly what she needs just on a day like this. No chance has been taken there by the Waterford player. Always so important that players look after conditions like that, particularly on a day like this. And indeed, as needless to say, the water breaks absolutely a welcome introduction, and really something that maybe could be considered a long time, particularly for championship football when you're playing out there in those soaring conditions. That's going to be a free in for Dublin again, going against Chloe Fennell on that particular instance. Little or no movement from either substitutes bench as of yet, but expect that to change in the second half, really, where the contribution that substitutes will make will surely become more of a factor in this game. Dublin with Orla Nolan again, it seems to be benefiting from coming over here. One of the main reasons maybe for switching her across was to try and cut out the number of attacks that Waterford were having on this side, and with the presence of Nolan over here, makes it a little bit more difficult. Also growing into it is Lauren McGee, just after scoring a point or two a moment ago. Liv McAvoy has lost out this time, and again the Waterford defence with Megan Dunford in a somewhat difficult situation to work out, but she was fouled there on her way advancing with the ball, and that's going to be a free for Waterford, and they're happy to take it again. They'll be obviously a little bit disappointed maybe to going in 2-5 to 1-4 down, but it's a game that they will surely feel is firmly within their grasp at this particular stage. Mixing it with the All-Ireland champions here in Baltinglass this afternoon. Siobhan McGrath again. Coming forward once more is Orla Nolan. Been very interesting to see the way that Dublin have tactically reacted to the dominance that Waterford were enjoying on this near side. Sinead Ahern earlier in the game. Nolan had continued on that run up there. Links up inside with Niamh McAvoy. McAvoy fisting the ball outside her to Jennifer Dunn, but it just got a little bit too tight, too congested there, and it's going to be another kick out for Waterford. Haven't seen a board go up as of yet to signal what additional time is going to be added on at the end of the opening half. And indeed, right on cue, no need for a board, because after 1 minute and 38 seconds, the referee decides to bring the first half to a close. So it's Dublin in the ascendancy here in Baltinglass. A victory, remember, for them will catapult them into the All-Ireland quarter-finals for this year, and so far they're on course, but it's a game that's far from over. Waterford have really posed a very tough and difficult challenge to them here this afternoon, and it's one that's still very much in the balance at half-time. It's Dublin who lead Waterford by 2 goals and 5 points to 1 goal and 4. We've got second half coverage coming up right after these. Well, hello and a very good afternoon, and welcome back to Baltinglass GAA grounds for our second half coverage of Dublin against Waterford in the TG4 All-Ireland Ladies Senior Football Championship. Half-time here in this particular encounter. It's Dublin in the ascendancy at the interval. They lead by 2 goals and 5 points to 1 goal and 4. Remember, Dublin and Waterford played in Group 3 of the All-Ireland Championship last year, a group that also included Donegal. Dublin finished at top, Donegal were second, and Waterford bowed out at the group stages after losing in those 2 games. Incidentally, Dublin and Donegal finished with a +7 on a scoring average. Waterford's -14, of course, with no points on the board, resulting in them exiting the competition. So Dublin attacking from left to right at the start of the second half. O'Connor moving it here with some real purpose, and there's a shot and there's a goal, and it's Siobhan Killeen, the sub for Dublin, who has scored it. Well, we mentioned that there was a real possibility of her coming in for Carla Rowe a little bit earlier in the game, and she has been introduced by Mick Bohan, the Dublin manager, and she's made an immediate impact with a goal, and has certainly given Dublin a real tonic here in this game. And now it asks serious questions of Waterford. 3 goals and 5 to 1 goal and 4 the scoreline at the moment. Waterford looking to make an immediate impact. Emma Murray, fine run from her, getting the pass away to Katie Murray. Murray triplets on this Waterford panel. 2 sisters starting. And of course their third sister among the substitutes for this particular game, Aoife, who will be wearing number 18 if she comes on. So a free, in any case, coming in here for Waterford. Just looking around at the Dublin team, well, Carla Rowe has continued to hold her position on the starting 15. So one of the changes been made by the Dublin manager, Mick Bohan, right at the start of the second half, certainly having the desired result. Maria Delahunty has kicked 2 points from frees, both in the opening half, and an opportunity now for her to open her account, and indeed that of the Dacia County here right at the start of the second period, and she taps that one in and over the bar. Really accurate free taker, finding the range on every opportunity almost that has come her way, and the lead now has been reduced again to 6 points. Still a healthy advantage for Dublin at this stage as they look to push on and indeed consolidate their place in the All-Ireland quarter-finals. Once more they're launching another attack here, but good corner back play from Megan Dunford. Right old battle with herself and Sinead Ahern right throughout the course of the game, as one of those to keep an eye out on. Emma Murray as the Waterford midfielder, and the wing back is Mairead Wall, and back it goes to Laura Mulcahy. Opportunity for her to come forward again. You can probably hear from the sideline she's been encouraged to keep it wide, not to take the ball into contact, particularly through the centre of the field where Dublin would be perceived to be extremely strong, but they've got plenty of physical strength out on the wings as well. You can see Hannah Turrell there. Waterford having some success moving the ball through the channels, but again the move breaks down, and it's Siobhan Killeen from Clontarf who has come on and scored a goal right at the start of the second period of play, and a lovely intelligent ball down to another one. The sub's been introduced, Niamh Heatherton, another Clontarf player in there. Some support play there from Rowe, and again the shot coming in from distance, but accuracy not there to the usual standard that we come to associate with Carla Rowe, and that one goes wide. So those changes that Dublin making at the interval very much putting a different complexion on the game thus far here. Quick restart again from Ciara Trent, or from the Waterford goalkeeper, I should say, Rosie Landers. Again has worked it out towards this near side, very close to the sideline, surely going out over the sideline there was Katie Murray. Definitely she was out. She's maybe protesting that she kept the ball in play there, but in any case the referee had blown the whistle. The infringement coming in from Leah Caffrey, so it will be a free for Waterford. Again it's taken, lobbed inside to the forward division it goes. Possibilities here again as players fully committed go to ground. Mairead Wall was the player, or going in for Waterford I should say, was Aileen Wall, and again it's going to be a free though being awarded to Dublin. 4 minutes into the second half, a goal for Dublin so far since the restart, a point for Waterford. Here come Dublin, Eva O'Connor. Good strong running, oh look at her go, O'Connor bearing in, great save, back to O'Connor off the crossbar. Oh, Waterford's goal leading a charmed life, one excellent save, crossbar hit in the second attempt, and the Waterford goal survives. Now that could be a catalyst for them. Emma Murray, if they can just score on a counter-attack here and establish a significant swing, it could help maybe make the closing stages interesting. Katie Murray, brilliant run from her, and she's got a point. Well, it's on such fine margins where games can often swing dramatically, and from an opportunity down in the far end where Dublin could and perhaps should have scored a goal, Waterford have come back and got a point themselves, and they're bringing in number 18, Aoife Murray, out of the Murray contingent who is going on. We'll tell you in a moment who is going to be the player to make way. It might be number 7, I think maybe, that is coming off there. It is. It's Aisling Mullaney from Starbally is coming off. So that's the change that they're doing that. 2 ticks for her as well. So that's change as a result of that particular situation. She's now been called ashore, obviously. Waterford not going to take the chances, and really you can see that as very astute management, because going down to 14 players in any type of a numerical disadvantage on a day like this, particularly when you're chasing a lead, would be a disaster. Here's Sinead Ahern, that's a lovely ball played inside there. Real possibilities once more, and Niamh Heatherton has kicked it in and over the bar. Well, the 2 substitutes that have been introduced by Mick Bohan and his management team at half-time are having the desired effect. A goal from one, a point from the other, and it's Dublin who lead by 3-6 to 1-6. 6 points between the teams, 6 very much being the magic number here at the moment. Waterford again on the attack. Aileen Wall has got the opportunities to run at the defence here. Still Aileen Wall trying to get through. Referee intent on allowing her advantage. She did well to recycle the ball out there, but the shot eventually came in and went wide. Dublin team from last year with their results, a 2-13 to 2-10 victory against Donegal in the championship. The game against Waterford last year, fairly close, 17 points for Dublin, 1-10 for Waterford, and Waterford lost 9 points to 2-13 against Donegal in their final game. Dublin team, of course, chasing down the 5 in a row, the drive for 5 this year, just showing how dominant they've been in the TG4 All-Ireland Ladies Senior Championship over the last number of years. Martha Byrne from Coola not exactly agreeing with that particular decision, and it's going to be a free once more, and it's going to be kicked in there by Chloe Fennell for Waterford. As they come forward once again here, Fennell making a strong run inside. It's come all the way out to Karen McGrath. McGrath all the way up to the 21-metre line, releases it back to Aileen Wall again. Waterford with one of those subs in, Kate McGrath, number 17 on her back. Again, takes the return. Still McGrath, still trying to weave her way through the defence, linking up with Aoife Murray, the third of the Murray sisters to be featuring in this game now. And there's the shot from Aileen Wall again, and well blocked down, and Dublin have overturned possession, and they're going to break here once again. So it's the wing back over there for Dublin in possession. Ola Nolan has been attacking presence on more than one occasion in the game, but certainly getting through an enormous amount of work when it comes to defensive duties as well. Good intelligent use of possession once more from the All-Ireland champions. So they've walked it down towards Hannah Turl. He's got the ball inside here. Real possibilities for Dublin as they look to attack. And the whistle sounds from the referee, and that's going to be another free in. And it was Lindsay Davey who had got the opportunity just to take on the Waterford rearguard, threw in the tackle, was fouled as a result, and it's going to be another free in. Well, with a lead of 6 points, Dublin will be quite happy if the likes of Sinead Ahern can keep the scoreboard ticking over for them here. 8 minutes and 20 seconds played in the second period of play. And Sinead Ahern will tap those over all day long and increases the advantage for Dublin to 3 goals and 7 points now to 1 goal and 6. Kick out, going short, always a somewhat risky strategy. But Waterford have got away with it on this occasion. Here's Karen McGrath. McGrath just on her own 45-metre line. That's the pass to Chloe Fennell once again. Has got McGrath free once more and always available for her. Decides to slow it down here to see what they can prize open in the line of opportunities. But the Dublin defensive setup has been fairly rigid for large parts of the game. Just have conceded the 1 goal so far. Back there defending is Niamh Collins from Foxrock Cabinteely. That's it out here to Hannah Turl, operating along this near touchline in the second period of play. And now it's Lauren McGee. Has found the range with a good score earlier in the match and gets her pass away to Caoimhe O'Connor. Been a fantastic runner. Referees clearly signalling that it's an advantage, and Sinead Ahern looking to capitalise on the advantage. But that's not going to happen. So as a result, the referee quite rightly now brings it back for a free. Well, in fairness, we have one of the most experienced officials in the ladies' game here, Jonathan Murphy from Carlow. Always good to see an advantage rule like that being used by a referee. And it always gives them the possibility as well to bring it back if the advantage fails to take place. Dublin side with plenty of representation last year in the 2020 Team of the Year with the likes of Martha Byrne, Sinead Goldrick, Jennifer Dunn, Carla Rowe, Lindsay Davey and Noelle Healy, all being featured in that particular selection from the end of the 2020 campaign. And it's going to be Hannah Turl who is preparing to kick this free now for them. Fairly central role as she moves to the edge of the D on the right and strikes it between the posts and over the bar. And again, it's a Dublin team now that you can almost sense are, even at this stage, probably beginning to think about managing the 20 plus minutes that's remaining. That's including injury time. 3-8 to 1-6, a significant advantage built up at this stage, and a lot of questions probably been asked of this Waterford team now playing in their first championship game in 2020. Again, there's going to be a free in here for Dublin. Caoimhe O'Connor again is the player who is preparing to take it. A strong running midfield. Sinead Ahern offloads it outside her. Eventually the shot coming in from who else, only the attacking wing back, that is Orla Nolan, and that's her second point of the game, and really well taken. Well, it's interesting to see the movement that they've got there. Lindsay Davey, the centre half forward, for instance, with so much experience, 6 All-Stars to her credit as well, and very much there's so many focal points out there. But Orla Nolan has been a player that's been hugely impressive in the wing-back position. Coming forward now is Carla Rowe. Takes the return. Here's Carla Rowe, and that surely could be the goal. That could signal, if ever there was any doubt about it, Dublin will be playing in the quarterfinals of this year's championship. They've moved up a notch or two here at the start of the second half and now lead by 4 goals and 9 points to 1 goal and 6. And Carla Rowe, the player who has got that goal, 4 All-Stars to her credit in the past, mentioned, as we mentioned, on the Team of the Year from the 2020 championship. Waterford now really have to throw caution to the wind and chase this one. And again, it's going to be a free out for Dublin there. Martha Byrne from Coola, the player who was fouled back there. 1 All-Star to her credit. Again, one of those 5 players that we mentioned included on the Team of the Year from last year, and very much consolidating her position in the Dublin team this time round. Siobhan McGrath brings it forward. Good delivery down once more here again towards Hannah Terrell. Just ran out of width more than anything else in the end. Well, in fairness to Waterford, they're sticking to their guns here. They're keeping the fight going right to the finish, but it is going to be a tough finish for them now in this particular game. The heat conditions, a Dublin team that are hugely experienced and indeed have been through so many of these situations in the past as well. In possession for them now is Sinead Ahern, playing it back towards Lauren McGee. McGee just getting by the 45-metre line, heading out there towards the 21. Rowe really popping up everywhere in the attack now at the minute. So many options here for Dublin as they transfer the ball from right to left, and you can really sense now at this stage as Waterford are struggling just to get their hands on the ball. You can see Dublin's experience beginning to tell. Siobhan McGrath, their ability to retain possession. We've seen this a number of occasions over the past. That probing ball into the inside forward line, and running free off the shoulder is Jennifer Dunn. Quick transfer back to Siobhan Killeen, who's happy to fist it in and fist it over the bar. Second point of the game for her after being introduced as a substitute. Her first point of the game, she's already scored a goal. Her second score of the match, I should say. Scored the goal right at the start of the second period. And Dublin now very much at this stage in their groove here, leading on the scoreboard by 4 goals and 10 points to 1 goal and 6 for Waterford. And really so much of the damage being inflicted here by Dublin in this third quarter. Siobhan McGrath again coming forward. Again it's gone out to Siobhan Killeen. Look at that for a diagonal ball to Carla Rowe, who turns and shoots and pops it over the bar without any real effort. But the intelligence, the use of the ball from the Dublin ladies, they are absolutely, maybe with the exception of it from a Waterford perspective, difficult of course for them to watch, but really for everybody else, for neutrals and indeed for the fans of the girls in blue, and be quite happy with the way that the game has progressed so far for them. The subs that they've brought on very much adding to the strength and depth of the panel as well, and very much adding to their cause here and helping their cause here, with an advantage of 4 goals and 11 points to 1 goal and 6. It would certainly prove that they're very much in the mix here after getting by that game against Tyrone last weekend. 4 goals today, and indeed it was goals that very much helped them settle last weekend as well. Jennifer Dunn and Siobhan Killeen, who just came in as a sub today, scored those goals early on. Just tells you a little bit about, in the match against Tyrone, but it just tells you a little bit about the strength and depth and the competition in places. And changes made on the side from that opening round victory in Kingspan Breffni Park against the Red Hand County. 218 to 111 was the full-time scoreline there, and already today the defending champions have hit a scoreline of 411. So the opportunity for both management teams again to get some instructions into the players. Waterford now probably presume beyond about working on a few things now, getting a performance in, particularly ahead of what's going to be a vital game for them against Tyrone. Even with a defeat here today, it's still very much the championship ambitions for Waterford in their own hands. Either themselves or Tyrone will move through as the second team in the quarter-finals. And of course they'll be looking to try and build on this as well. Turl, incidentally, scored 7 points from that opening game. Dublin really, just like what they managed to do here today, emerged after half-time and dominated the third quarter last week as well. Had a penalty saved in that match against Tyrone by the goalkeeper Maeve Maxwell. A team that have won 5 All-Ireland titles, all since 2010. All-Ireland champions in 2010, of course in 2017, 18, 19 and 20 for the 4 in a row. A Waterford team that have won 5 All-Irelands in the past, in 1991, 92, 94, 95, and most recent title for Waterford at senior level was won back in 1998. Definitely a team looking to rediscover the position where they once enjoyed so much dominance. Their position at provincial level now very much been challenged by Cork in recent years, and no doubt about it on the national stage. This particular Dublin team have been well, the dominant force in leagues and of course in championship over the last number of seasons. So 1 quarter remaining in the game, as you can see from the clock. 14.5 minutes played. Dublin in the ascendancy, 4 goals and 11 to 1 goal and 6, and really all about Waterford now trying to build some momentum ahead of that final game now against Tyrone, and they've started this period fairly well. Kate McGrath is the player who brought that ball forward, got the pass away eventually, and that's kicked in and kicked over the bar, and that's much better start from Waterford here to the final quarter of the game. They managed to walk the ball into the inside forward line, and over there, and they got the score, and a speedy recovery as well to Kellyanne Hogan, who broke her leg in the challenge game last week as well. So hopefully she'll be back before long, and we'll be back at the colours of Waterford in the not too distant future. So the kick out here from the Dublin goalkeeper once more, Carla Trant, giving it again over to that far side of the field. Dublin will be quite happy with the way they've distributed the ball from restarts today. Vital aspect of the performance, and again Ahern has got in round the back here, and there's the square ball played inside, and real possibilities, and finished to the net by Niamh Heatherton, the sub, another one of the subs now scoring 1-1, introduced right at the start of the second half. Good build-up play once again, and once it was squared across there, 1-on-1 against the goalkeeper was always going to be an inevitable conclusion, and it's now 5 goals and 11 points to 1 goal and 7. Really is turning out to be a game that's beginning to slip away from Waterford at this stage now, as Dublin beginning to pick up a lot of possession with Lauren McGee, their midfielder, but they've conceded the foul there. Waterford have it back. Here's Aileen Wall. Cross it goes to Karen McGrath. McGrath running once more into the whole cul-de-sac of Dublin players, but good strong physical strength from her has got her well beyond the 45-metre line, and Emma Murray now takes up the baton and continues to come forward, but again, only so many times you can carry the ball into the tackle there against these Dublin girls, and they will more likely than not be able to overturn possession, and that's exactly what has happened on this particular occasion. Dublin attacking once more here. Caoimhe O'Connor, deep roll from her in towards one of the super subs, Niamh Heatherton, really enjoying her exposure out here today. That was well read and anticipated back there by Laura Mulcahy. Excellent full back play from her, really spotted the danger as it was developing and was there to cut it out. Gets it back to Aoife Murray. Back again towards Mulcahy. It's interesting to see the Dublin formation, the way they drop everybody out to past the 14-metre line and set up in various defensive walls in, but they're able to break so quickly. The transition from defence to attack has been something that's an awful lot of the success has been built on in recent times. There's another substitution about to be made by Waterford. Shauna Dunphy is warming up under the commentary position at the moment, and indeed has been introduced by the Waterford management team. It's an opportunity now for them to look at as many players as possible here at this stage. The player that's going to be coming off is Mairead Wall, the number 5 of the Coig. She's been called ashore for the closing stages of this game. Probably next week, that game between Waterford and Tyrone. There'll be massive interest in that, the final round of games of the TG4 group stages, bearing in, and so much of course to be decided. Some aspects of the competition, some of the teams into the quarterfinals will be probably decided. The likes of Dublin going through. Cork will also be looking to make it 2 wins from 2 over the weekend as well, but still so much to play for on the final round of games, and it really will be a super weekend of championship football. And as always, games available on TG4 and indeed here on the LGFA website as well. Meath last week really pushing Cork in the match that we covered, so close in their opening round encounter. Today though, Dublin just beginning to, at the start of the second half, put some distance between themselves and Waterford here as Aileen Wall prepares to strike in this free. Ankle was acute, it's going right across the face of the goal there. Dangerous ball inside, but again Dublin having players back under it. Ian Caffrey was the wing back. It's played out here towards the number 21 Sarah Fagan from Clontarf, who quickly moves Dublin from a defensive unit into attack, and they come forward here with Siobhan Killeen. And a good game against Tyrone last weekend. Will obviously be disappointed maybe to have started on the bench today, but has certainly given the management team an indication of what she's capable of achieving on the basis of her second half performance alone. Kate Sullivan dropping that one in again. Once more is won inside by Hannah Turrell. Squared once more right across the face of the Waterford goal dangerously. But again, Waterford are able this time to cut out the Dublin attack at source, and they're going to be able to break and come forward at themselves. Aoife Murray was the player who was back there. Here's their midfielder, Chloe Fennell. Down again towards Wall, but Wall beats her out over the line, and it's going to be another sideline ball for Dublin, who lead at this stage by 5-11 to 1 goal and 7. Again, a dangerous ball played right in over the top. Turlino, and that comes off the crossbar. A real dangerous ball inside to Hannah Turrell. A real presence inside as they move that physical presence in a little bit closer to the goal. And always difficult to try and keep her at bay when she gets into those particular scoreable opportunities. So many of those experienced players there. On the Dublin team, very much delivering the goods when their chips are down here in championship football. Waterford again getting some joy with Roisin Tobin on this near side. Here's Chloe Fennell. Fisted pass outside her to Karen McGrath. Now slowing it down, just seeing what options are available. Rebecca Casey has, in fairness to her, offering herself on several occasions right throughout the game, but she went into the cul-de-sac there, over-carried possession. And some more changes being made. Number 19 incidentally being brought in by Waterford now at this stage, Laura Cusack. Megan Dunford, I think, is taking up a different position as well. In fact, she's following Sinead Ahern back there. Ahern had come deep, and Dunford is continuing to run at her. The player, incidentally, who is going to be coming off for Waterford is Chloe Fennell, the midfielder from Stradbally, is the player who makes way. So the free in for Dublin. 8.5 minutes remaining in this game. Dublin well and truly in the ascendancy on a scoreline of 5-11 to 1 goal and 7. But again, it was so competitive for the first half in particular. It was really only at the start of the second half that Dublin's superiority in the contest began to show. Here they come looking for another score. Nolan dropping it in short on this particular occasion. Orla Nolan has got through a world of work there right throughout the course of the game. Another injury concern for one of the Waterford players there. So more scorelines from today. Laois 2-17, Waterford 1 goal and 9. The All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championship. That game will be a lot of interest to our Waterford listeners. 2-17 to 1 goal and 19. The scoreline from there. And some more scores from the Joe McDonagh Cup. Kildare 1-7, Meath 4 points. Just looking at the injury here that was picked up just a couple of moments or two ago, and you can see the Dublin midfielder involved there in the mix as well on that one. So let's see what there be any implications maybe from Lauren McGee as a result of that. The referee is going in to speak to Lauren McGee and explaining exactly what happened, and the referee content with that. And the treatment just been issued to the Waterford player who picked up that foul. Waterford, as you can probably hear the management team just looking to maybe see what further action could have been taken. Again, of course, it's at this stage it seems to be very much going the way of the All-Ireland champions, and decisions like that obviously further causing to the anger of the Waterford management team. Don't forget the Lady LGFA website of all the games available from the respective championships across all weekends of championship action. And of course, as we move into the latter stages of the competition, TG4 continuing to show the semi-finals, finals, and of course quarter-finals coming up very quickly as well. Final round of group games taking place next week. And of course the tensions will turn to the quarter-finals. Good to see Rebecca Casey back up on her feet again and okay to continue. And the restart will come from down to the goal to our right, where Waterford have been defending for long periods, it must be said, of the second period. Dublin team that have scored 5 goals in the encounter so far. And right now there's going to be some further attacks coming up here for Waterford as they look to try and take something out of the closing stages of this game. Kate McGrath playing that one outside her. Real possibilities here again for McGrath. The Dublin defence have got a lot of players back in a defensive mode. Although they've got that big lead, they're by no means deciding to throw caution to the wind and push too many players forward here in the closing stages. More changes about to take place for Waterford. Number 20 is about to come in for them. That's Cara McCarthy from the Abbey-side club. And she's, as you can see there, number 20 in camera shot. I'll tell you in a moment the player that is just going to be making way, Emer Fennell, who had started so well and was such a constant threat to the Dublin defence in the opening half, is the player who has been brought ashore. Both teams now very much will be anticipating or turning their attentions to the next round of the competition. Dublin will have their group stages completed by now and will be safely in the quarter-finals, and a real championship knockout game coming up for Waterford against Tyrone. There's the free being kicked in there by Maria Delahunty. Fourth from her in the game, and really it's great to see a player taking those types of frees from the ground. Some would call it old style or traditional style of free taking, but of course many free takers will widely acknowledge that it presents you with an awful lot more accuracy, particularly on a day maybe where wind could be a factor. I think that could be really seen as a significant factor here today, although it is picking up a little bit in the second half. Good movement from Dublin again. Caoimhe O'Connor cuts right in field. Here's the opportunity for Hannah Turl, and Hannah Turl turns and shoots and dispatches the ball in and over the bar for another Dublin point. And Dublin's movement and efficiency in front of the post, 5 goals and 12 now. They lead to 1 goal and 8. Again, kick out will come from Rosie Landers, Waterford goalkeeper, deciding to go over towards that far side of the field with it. Walks out eventually there for Emma Murray, wearing number 9, taking on her marker on that particular occasion, who's Lauren McGee. No doubt about the incident she was involved in a little bit earlier will probably be a talking point after this particular game when it comes to the full-time analysis and reports on the match. Karen McGrath down again towards Kate McGrath. And Kate McGrath here looking to see what she can engineer late on here for Waterford. That's back to Karen McGrath again. And Aileen Wall getting by a couple of challenges. Plays the good forward pass, inviting her teammates to run onto it. And it's going to be another free in here for Waterford. Maria Delahunty, the player who was fouled, and indeed will kick the free herself. From the ground, 5 goals and 12 to 1 goal and 8. Waterford trailing at this stage into the final 2.5 minutes, plus whatever injury time will be added on at the end of the game. There's 1 or 2 stoppages during the course of the second period of play that might add to a minute or 2 onto it. Maria Delahunty has kicked another one in and over the bar. Routine for her, a player of her ability, and indeed a player of her free-taking skills as well. Really, really accurate in front of the posts. And that makes the score 5-12 to 1 goal and 9. Ciara Trant with the kick out. Again, switches it over towards Lauren McGee here. Inside. Really going strong at this late stage of the game. Playing that percentage ball down, and Turl is in round the back again. And a Turl so squares it up, and there's the finish of Caoimhe O'Connor. Right into the net. She was tackled late. But Turl is such a wonderful provider in there. The way she's able to get that primary possession And the way she's able to use other players who are running off the shoulder and are able to take the goals. And the player there, Caoimhe O'Connor, will be so happy to have been in the right place to receive that. But Hannah Turrell's presence inside is an out-and-out ball winner. Every time she floats in there, she's come back out now to an advanced role, and indeed is sprinting back to get back into a defensive position now to do some more defending. You just see her going through camera shot there at the moment. Waterford coming on the attack here with Emma Murray. Emma Murray fouled. And that's going to be another free in here for Waterford. 6-12 to 1-9. Impressive score by the All-Ireland champions. Only 4 points between the teams on the mat in last year's championship encounter, but Dublin have very much moved up a gear here on the scoring charts. Bigger winning margin today. And the free once more being presented here to Maria Delahunty, who has kept the scoreboard ticking over in the main for the Déise County here in the second period of play in particular. Ticking down towards the final 20 seconds of normal time. Delahunty again continues to increase her personal tally for the match. And again, the restart will come from Ciara Trant, the Dublin and St. Bridget's goalkeeper. Leah Caffrey from the Nafiana club. That's Martha Byrne from Coola. Comes across here to this near side to Hannah Leahy. Leahy, one of the many subs, been introduced. Martha Byrne again.
Look up!
Dublin now very much playing ball in towards Jennifer Dunn. So that's Jennifer Dunn who has it. Long delivery again. And guess who was the intended target inside there for that? Niamh Heatherton. A player who adds a fair bit of height into that forward line, particularly if Dublin want to use that option of having an aerial bombardment at different stages of the game. But they do get quite a lot of success from a strong running game as well. But Rebecca Casey and now number 14, Katie Murray, is trying to replicate here. Emma Murray for Waterford. Emma Murray's way blocked. Laura Cusack now just outside the Dublin 45-metre line. Almost a minute of injury time played here at the end of the second half. Here's Cara McCarthy. McCarthy again getting the fisted pass away, and coming forward here is Emma Murray. Dublin have been content enough to concede a few frees in the second half, as long as it remained, kept their goal intact.
Don't go out.
Right now it's gathered here by Aileen Wall. Rebecca Casey. Waterford been given the opportunity to push Karen McGrath forward here. Goes across to Aoife Murray. Still holds on to it. Just on the 45-metre line, and now Laura Cusack. Cusack still. Nice sail of a dummy. Taking her away from the cover and Dublin player, who was Lauren McGee. The shot eventually coming in under some pressure, must be said. And it goes out to the left of the post and wide. Well, really, since the goals in the third quarter from Dublin, right at the start of the second half, the game took on a somewhat of an inevitable conclusion from that particular moment in time onwards. Dublin obviously will reflect on this game and see what areas that they'll be looking to improve on. Waterford will take whatever positives they can for the game against Tyrone, which, as we mentioned, will be played next week. Still playing time here to be negotiated. Some more defending duties for Laura Mulcahy to look after. The full-back going across there to cut that one out. Already some of the spectators here in Bolton Glass decided to make an early start and beat the traffic. And with that, the referee blows the full-time whistle and brings it to a conclusion. 6 goals and 12 points for Dublin. 1 goal and 10 for Waterford. It was a game really that the scoreline at the end will never really reflect how close and competitive it was for long stages of the opening half, but Dublin very much shuffled the pack a little bit at half-time, and the introduction of some of the subs such as Siobhan Killeen and indeed Niamh Heatherton had a big turning point for them. Those two ladies in particular very much being a catalyst for a Dublin performance where they went on to dominate in the end. As a result, Dublin now with 2 victories against Tyrone and Waterford will, as expected, be in the All-Ireland quarter-finals. And for the Déise County, well, it's a meeting with the Red Hand County of Tyrone to see who will be taking the second place out of this particular group. All to play for when it comes to championship ambitions for these teams for 2021. But it's Dublin who are the victors here today. Full-time scoreline from Bolton Glass. It finished Dublin 6 goals and 12. Waterford 1 goal and 10. On camera for us this afternoon was James Conlon. Rory O'Brien directed and produced. From all of us here in Bolton Glass, goodbye and God bless.